Here I am atop a strip mall, if you will, kind of, way up in the art museum area, by PNC Bank and the towers, whatever these things are called, City View or what have you. City View, I think. And I think the art museum towers are over in that direction because there's North by Northwest and the art museum towers and all that stuff. So a little panoramic view, and we'll head on down here. We'll take a little walk across the street. There's a popular Starbucks down here. Oh, we're gonna do. This is Hamilton Street. This here that I'm walking east on towards Baldwin Park. And I guess I'll get some clips of Baldwin Park. Let's see how much time we have. Yeah. So we'll head this way. I live on 17th Street, but way down in Center City. So this is on the north side. We're walking from whatever that is. Where are we headed here? This will be 18th coming up here, and then 17th is on the other side of Baldwin Park. I took care of someone's dogs in the Tivoli, which is this building over here. They were there temporarily subletting. I usually took care of their dogs all the way down on Banbury and South Street, which is quite a hike from here. But they moved to the West Coast, to California, Santa Barbara, California. And they subletted for a couple months in that building there until they moved out west. And he's a coach, running coach and track coach. And she's a pediatrician, I believe. So they already had some money maybe to be able to just move out to Santa Barbara. They might have family and stuff. I guess he got a job there and they went for it. They weren't, I don't know, I can't really speak for them totally, but I don't know that they were big lovers of Philadelphia. They had a lot of issues. And, you know, I guess the West Coast will just have a different aura altogether. So, and some people prefer the West Coast because it's got a different vibe than the East Coast. The East Coast can be a little bit brusque, it depends. More free-spirited on the West Coast, that kind of feeling like, you know, the beaches, Highway 1, this, that, and the other. That would be like my assumption. I've been out to California and to Seattle, and there is a different feeling, and a different way of communities maybe being handled, at least in the areas where I was. The East Coast will just always have that historic, old school 13 colonies feeling to it, somewhere deeply rooted in its traditions, if you will, and ways of handling things. So this is, we went this way. Okay. So garden around Baldwin Park and North by Northwest. And these are actually part of the North by Northwest little conglomerate here, or whatever, complex of buildings. So there are townhomes down here, and then these apartments up here. I took care of a cat up in these apartments. They kind of have a dorm-like feeling, so it's almost like dorm living, or maybe faculty for Community College of Philadelphia, and then some. It's hard to explain, you know, you sort of get on these big gigantic elevators, and then there's like a buffer. You go out into the hallway. Hard to explain, it's echoey kind of. And there you have it, Center City, Philadelphia. I don't know, it seems like a special community, the North by Northwest building. And that's like the belly of the beast, as they say. Down here. Community College off to the left. Over here, their campus is over that way. Sun up in the sky, it's milder weather. Old Enquirer building off in the distance, that tall piece there, it's now the police headquarters. Sabrina's is down here, the newer one. They've had one, there used to be one in the Italian market for years. Then they opened one up here, just past this fence where there's a blue awning over there, it's hard to see. And my dad would come up graciously and have lunch with me when he and his wife would come up to Delaware to sort of do a round of visits, and he would drive all the way up here and get lunch with me and stuff like that. So I so much wanted to be able to spend time with just my dad. I grew up, you know, with my mom and then visiting my dad and step family, and I sort of got to a point where I was like, oh, I really want to just have lunch or dinner with my dad. So it was a little bit of a huge request, but when they did the traveling up from Florida to Delaware, he would do the lunch. Sabrina's. Then they put a new Sabrina's on South Street where Honey's used to be. That's around 20th or 21st and South. So anyway, I was really thankful to be able to spend some quality time with my dad. Without the whole clan. It's one of those things, it was this daughter request of, I totally just want to be able to spend time with just my dad. Is that, so, you know, I'll have to apologize for any drama that was created for that request, but I think it was okay in the end. He passed away, coronavirus, December 20th, 2020. My mom passed away before him. She passed away in July. It was still during the pandemic, but of other causes, like natural causes-ish, old age and stuff like that, things that caught up with her and cascaded. And she had sort of a kidney-ish, kind of. She had incontinence and everything might have collided. We won't get into it. I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist because of what I've witnessed and things that have happened. So I do think that energies can be wielded and people can be thrown off balance, and sort of if they need people to move it along for other people's agendas, whether they be political, business, or otherwise, gang stalking, so forth and so on, then they'll make it. They'll just, whoever they are, the people who get to have a little bit more say and decision-making, you know, skills on people's families, they'll just make sure it happens. That's how I see that. That's my opinion, just based on my own observations and experience as God's witness. I now see myself as God's witness because of how bad the situation was. So, and then my aunt would pass away